Good afternoon, guys. This is your pre-class and live lesson video for Wednesday, September 23rd. Remember, this is the day that I'm supposed to set up the classroom in school, so you will only have asynchronous learning today. So today we're going to look at subtracting fractions by estimating the differences. And we did estimating last week with benchmark fractions. It's going to be the same thing, but we're subtracting this time. All right, so yesterday, we're going to skip this part because this is just subtracting without renaming. All right, so we're going to look at benchmark fractions. Remember, when we round a fraction, that's what we're basically doing, rounding the fraction using benchmark fractions. We're looking at the number 0, half, or 1 whole. And if you look at your fraction and figure out what 1/2 of the fraction would be, so like eighths, halfway mark would be 4/8. So would it be closer to the half, 4/8, 0, anything less than 4/8? So I would say less than 3/8 or greater than, how close is it to 1? So looking at these numbers, we have 5/12 and 7/8. So 5/12 would round to a half, and 7/8 would round to the next whole, so you would have 5. So 5 minus 3.5, well, 5 minus 3 is 2, and then if you take away, you have to take one of those two, you have to take 2, let me get my pencil. So you have 2 with 5 minus 3, but I still have to subtract a half. So that gives you 1.5. And if you look at it like what we were doing, so 2 is the same as 2 over 2. So it's 1 plus 2 over 2, because 2 over 2 is a whole. Now we can subtract the half, and that's how you get a half. So it's about 3.5. Okay, let's practice this. 7 and 7/9, 3 and 4/7. So if I use my number line, we have 0 and 1, and here's my half. Well, 9/9 makes 1 whole. What's half of 9? About 4.5. So this should be about 4.5, and I have 7/9. So 7's going to be over here. So I'm going to say 7 and 7/9 rounds to 8. If I draw my number line again, I have 0 and 1. And now we're looking at sevenths. So halfway to 7 is 3.5. And I have 4. So 4/7 would be right here. So I'm going to say 4/7 is closer to the half. So 3 and 1/2. So 8 minus 3 is 5. But we have to remember we still have to subtract the half. So that's 4.5. Okay, make sure you take notes in your journal, draw your number lines, figure out what your halfway point is, and we will continue. No, I don't want that. All right, so our number for today is 17. The factors for 17 are 1 and 17. It has 2 factors, making it a prime number. If you don't have that on your list, add it to your list. I think you should have it from when we did the calendar. So a number that has only 2 factors is a prime number. And let's look at our first problem. Okay, 11 and 5/6 minus 11 and 5/9. I'm sorry, 5 and 5/9. So 11 and 5/6. Well, it takes 6, 6 to make a whole. And if I have 5 of those, I'm going to say that that's closer to a whole. If you need to see the number line, let's just draw the number line. Half of 5/6, or half of 6 would be 3/6. And 5/6 is right here because one whole is 6/6. So we're going to say that's closer to a whole. Now, 5/9. So 9/9 is one whole, and 4.5/9 is your halfway point, and I have 5. So that's going to be closer to 1/2 minus 5.5. 12 minus 5 is 7. I still have to subtract the half. That gives me 6.5. I'll let you take your notes. 3 1/5 minus 2 2/3. So if you have a unit fraction, right here, that's going to tell you that it's closer to 0. So 3 minus 2, and what would you say 2/3 is? We have 2/3. If we need to see it as a picture, so halfway right there. There's 2/3. I would say that's closer to, and that one's going to be tough. You could say a whole or you could say half. Just know that your answer, the answer choice is a half, choose a half. All right, so we'll say this, we'll do it 2 ways. We'll do it as 2.5, and we'll do it 3 minus 3 is 0. I seriously doubt that they're going to give you a problem where you have 3 minus 3 is 0. So this would equal 1/2. Because 2 minus 3 is 1, you still have to take away a half. So what you're left over with is about a half. 3 7/8 minus 2 1/3. So 7/8. We have 7 out of 8 pieces. 4/8 is 1/2. There's my 8/8 for my one whole. And I have 7/8. So that's going to be 1. So 3 7/8 is about 4. And 2 1/3 is going to be about 0. So that's going to be like 4 minus 2 for 2. Okay. Okay, 4 7/8 minus 3 5/12. So again, we have 7/8, 7 out of 8. So we can just automatically say that that is 5. 3 5/12. Well, what's half of 12? 6. So if you drew 12/12, which is one whole, and half of 12/12 is 6/12, or 0. And we're right here. So 3 5/12 is almost 3.5. 5 minus 3 is 2, but I still have to subtract the half. So that gives you 1 1/2. 7 2/9. So think about how many more you need to make 9. So here we go. We have our 9/9 is one whole. So 4.5/9 is exactly halfway 0. So then we have 2/9. So that's going to be closer to 0. 7. And then we have 6 and 3/12. Well, we have 12 over here, so let's just use our same number line. So that was 5/12, so 3/12 is right there. I'm going to say that it's actually halfway between 0 and a half, but I would probably say it's closer to 0 because I need 3 more to make a half, and I need 9 more to make a whole. So I'm just going to keep that one at 6, and it's about 1. So your answer here is 1. Your answer over here is 1.5. Hopefully that explained enough for you. We will go over this on Thursday. Make sure you do your Schoology and make sure you do your iReady. I'll be checking your times for the iReady and the Schoology. And remember, you have your test on Friday. So if you have any questions, make sure you ask me when we're in class on Thursday. See you guys on Thursday.